Jake Sumner, director. Margaret Loeb, producer. And we're going to have a little bit of a Q&A with Bob Merlis, who's going to be interviewing all of them.
Ron, we've known each other for quite some time, and I want to let you know that I have a stash of memorabilia too. And here's my ticket to the Beach Boys at Carnegie Hall, 1972. And Ron, it's $7. So can you give me the money back? Now Ron's going to put that in his vault, and it's for you. I have the ticket. That's just a picture of it.
Hey, honey, it's more shit.
Ellen will kill me for that. I met Ron a long time ago. I used to work in the music business in New York, but more importantly, on July 1st, 1966, I went to the first Rheingold Music Festival show. It was Dionne Warwick and the Youngbloods. And what an incredible combination, because you'd never imagine that they would go together, but they actually did. So thanks for that, Ron, and feel free to use that Beach Boys ticket. I have one other minimal anecdote about Ron, and then I'll actually ask these people important questions. Years ago, I went to Barney Greengrass, the Sturgeon King, with Ron, and he called a waiter over. He said, "Look at this glass, it's dirty. If I get trench mouth, I'm blaming you." I'm doing Ron's material for Ron, so he doesn't have to. It's trench mouth. It's one. Ron, in the film, more than once, you say to a given artist, "Give him a good show," and I really wonder what you mean by that. What defines a good show?
That came from Billy, the piano player.
From Billy Joel.
He did that. When I say, what the hell is he saying? Give it a show, because he wanted to do a good show. When I first met him, he was in with three people on something. I forget what it was called. He had a name. Anybody remember what Billy Joel's for band was years ago?
Attila.
No,
two-man group.
The Hassles. So I had him play because I liked the guy. He lived down the block for us, around the block. And I see him all the time on a motorcycle, and we got to talk and bullshit with each other. And the weird thing is, he's not into the baseball or football, anything of those things. Nothing that we like. I go, he doesn't even want to talk about it. I say, hey, the New York Techs are playing this afternoon. What? Who's that? So what do I talk to Billy Joel about? Women. Okay.
Well, he's a little focused on music.
I can't do this anymore. So he came up with that thing. He came up with that. I go, what do you mean?
Have a good show.
Have a good show.
But you say it to other people in the film.
Well, because I
got
it from him.
Oh, well, he's a big influence, I know.
By the way, right now, Billy Joel, we have to pray about Billy Joel now. We don't know what he has, and it's sad. And I don't push it. I can send him a letter or something like that. Hey, guy, how are you? He's such a great guy. And also, John Bon Jovi, I mean, you don't find a guy like that,
Well, those guys love you, right?
They really, these guys, they're here tonight, so he's here. I mean, he's over here. Where is he?
Gene, I think Gene had to go. Gene,
how you, Gene? Yeah. All right, yeah. He'll come and spit on everybody laughter. Or light up his ass or something. I don't know. What's your next? You want somebody ass this up? Okay, that's good.
Let's talk to the filmmaker for a second here. We'll come back to Ron, of course. How did it come to pass that you made a documentary about Ron Delsener? What was your motivation? What was your insight?
I've known Ron in a way since I was a small child. I grew up around the music business, and Ron was the guy in New York putting on shows, and he would tell stories to me and my siblings when we were kids, and they were always really amazing stories about any number of incredible acts that you see in the film or otherwise. And I just always thought he's such a character, and if you put all these stories together, you'd have a kind of an interesting tapestry of live music told by this amazing character. and it took a lot of convincing, and I think it's the kind of thing that people had tried and failed to make this film. And I just kept asking him, and eventually he said yes. But then it was kind of yes, but it was kind of like, I don't know. And then we would follow him around, and then he would say, like, just come with me to the show. So we just film shows, and there's a lot of shows we filmed that didn't end up in the film.
Do part 2, no?
We could. I mean, DVD extras, we could do that. No, I mean, I just think Ron has this incredible story that needs to be shared, and I wanted to make it.
You did fantastic. And Margaret, you're a born and raised New Yorker, I'm assuming. I think I know that.
That's
actually.
right, yeah.
As one of the producers of the film, what was your eureka moment? Like, I gotta produce a movie about Ron Delsener. How'd that come about?
We went to bed together one time. I'm sorry. Any kids around here? No. She's a great.
You know, he talks off the cuff a lot. You know.
We are old friends, and I love Ron. Honestly, Jake, we were at dinner together, and I heard with Ron, and I heard you were making this film, and I was like, what a great idea for a film. You know, the idea of someone who kind of spanned that entire period of live music, but also really could also have one of the characters of the film be New York City through all its ups and downs, and the way that music and culture can kind of bring New York City together, and you know, and the changing business. But Ron is a character. There's no one like you, and that alone was just incredibly compelling. So I was excited to be with it.
I hope you like me in a nice way. That's very nice.
It's nice to be nice, Ron.
Too much money, you know. I'm America's, just a dollar ticket, $1.25. All these things that people, you know, those other people, you know, they had no place to go. They have it on their fire escape. That's where they go.
Okay,
That's where people go.
I'm going to tell one quick story.
Please.
So Ron, who has probably been at every birthday of mine since I turned 30, was also at my son's bar mitzvah, and who played with his friends in a band. And right after, at the bar mitzvah, he says, "These are the bar mitzvah boys. We're going to put them on. They're gonna play Live Nation." One kid was from California, one was from Florida, one was from Detroit. He didn't stop calling me, like literally, like the way we're gonna put on the show. I called all the boys. You got to come to New York. Ron Delsener says you have to come to New York, and they put on a show at Live Nation. He got all the employees to come, and he took any show, doesn't matter what it is, he gives it everything he's got, and it was a beautiful thing.
We have a free new piece of news of that. I know any film, anything.
I got everything.
If you had something, that was funny. The Zappa King, what do they call it again?
The bar mitzvah boys?
The Bar Mitzvah Boys.
You know that pile of papers on Ron's desk? There's one little piece of paper that says the Bar Mitzvah Boys on it. So you've got to dig that
They're
out.
going to be big, but I think they're big now. They were 25 years old by now. So they're not boys anymore, but they can put small pants on and make believe they're a bit taller. You know, like I did in the movie, my that's the real thing. Yeah, sure. Okay.
Jake, after the Beatles show, you see Ron talking about how happy he was, that happiness is pervasive. And there's a moment there, and then he's sad because it can only happen once, really. But then it happens again with Simon and Garfunkel. What do you think happens with this guy in terms of ups and downs? And, well, I'm asking Jake about you.
Jake?
You already know you.
Well, I mean, I think Ron could answer, but you know, I think I don't know. It's that feeling of what I liked about what he said is that you kind of want to bottle that moment. You know, you have that incredible experience, that life-changing thing, and it felt to me the way Ron said it that like Ron's been kind of chasing that moment and that energy ever since. And
We may say something out of that. Any of you folks here that want to say something? No. Okay. What do we have to say? Do we have anything
We're
to say?
self-contained here.
Okay, self-contained. Go ahead.
Tell me about the Ron, the Simon and Garfunkel reunion. That was kind of a high-risk endeavor. Did you have any backup plans? I mean, if it had rained hard, could you come back the next
I
day? Or was
had
you gonna
that
go?
as other places with other things, other acts, and it was bad, and it cost me a lot of money. But I have to go with the flow, you know. I canceled the show at noon one day because I heard it was going to rain that night for who made that night? Remember the guys from California? Yeah, no. Anyway. I got too close because they said, "Oh, the weather's going to be bad tomorrow." And I go, "Uh-oh, I got to cancel the show on Central Park." And it was a big show. I don't know if is Lou still here? No, he's not here. But I had to cancel the show because I said the sponsor said, "We came here to give people the show, you know. So now we got to cancel it for the next day."
Oh,
And
is this Hub Albert? Tijuana Brass? Was it that show?
yeah, terrible. I called it too quickly. I said, they can't sit on the wet grass. These people have clothes on and they're not hippies and stuff. And so I canceled the show at noon, and the sunshine came out, and a lot of people were pissed off. That's the one mistake I made. I said, "Oh, Jesus Christ." I thought it was going to, no. Anyway.
Well, the leitmotif here is gambling. I mean, everything is about, you know, rolling the dice.
You got to play. You got to play in the rain. You got to play at all rate. Everything. You cannot stop playing. You got to keep playing.
As long as Gene is still here, I'd love to know about when you put the first Kiss show on. Within, I think, about 15 months, the second one was at Madison Square Garden, 10 times the capacity. What happened?
Well, they came and you saw it there, and I said I liked them right away. They're funny, you know, and stuff. But I saw what they had. They had something I got, who the hell would do this? Spit out red blood and, you know, and what the hell is this about? And the thing, who's going to watch this stuff? And this is an act. What do they sing about? I don't know nothing. So what the hell? Who's going to make? Well, anyway, they look nice, and what the fuck? Let's try it. And it worked out. They worked out. We became friends, and he. When they did that show at the beginning, I go, shit, they really like this kind of crap. I meant it in a nice way. No, I saw what they had. They had something that I liked. You know, it was crazy and stuff like that. They were. How about the shows we used to do?
This is from a guy who got to start the Metropolitan Opera. I like that idea that you're ecumenical.
Yeah.
Let's keep it classy, Ron. And I want to talk about Carnegie Hall, because aside from this Beach Boys show that I attended and paid you $7 for, I was at the Bowie show, and he descended from the sky, and it was incredible. And did you have any forewarning about what you were presenting? Did you have an idea of how the show was going to run?
But definitely, it was. That's the way he played his plays. But he had good people, technicians, to make this work.
Yeah.
And what he did, his eyes go further. He has eyes. I mean, he's into everything. He's into Chinese stuff and this kind of stuff. I know that because he was into paintings and artists. And I took him to a big place in New York City when they came with the stuff from India. Stuff.
You take him to the Met Museum?
The Met
You had
Museum,
a private viewing for him.
I gave him a private interest. They closed it down, and I had the guy who owns the museum at the time give him and he really was like, I was giving him a tour where they closed down the whole place. And we just gave it to him, David Bowie. And his favorite guy was like him. Is my wife here? She left. Go. Okay.
Well,
no, but he was very intelligent. He was very intelligent. He was up on everything.
Was there a risk? You put a guy, I mean, his agent was on talking about how he was kind of unproven, but they knew he had real great talent. Was there a chance you could have lost on that one?
Did what?
On the Bowie show at Madison Square Garden?
It cost a ton. I said, we had all the money. Just do what you want to do, and I'll pay for it.
Yeah.
And it was amazing what we did. We built these trestles that come up like this, and he walks across to the other lot where the lights are. He had, this was all him.
Yeah.
And his team, and he made it happen. This guy, the clothes he wore, what he said, what he did, he was really what do you say, a man who was right on the money. He knows what he was doing. He knew what he wanted, and he got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that Simon and Garfunkel? I mean, it's clear from Paul that he was kind of putting up with Artie. He even said as much. But do you think there was genuine love there once they got their show off the
Yeah,
ground?
sure. I think they were great together. And when they first they heard the first note and they saw the crowd out there, I think that was wow, a eureka! Wow, this is an amazing thing, amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was that and the Beatles are, I'm thinking the two event highlights of
Correct.
of what you've done over the course
Correct.
of
Yeah.
all these years. But what would you say? And Margaret, you can chime in too, because you've been to so many of these shows. What would you say is the most fulfilling show you ever presented, or that you, Margaret, ever attended?
You can answer that one. What's the most fulfilling show you ever put on?
What? What was what?
What's your favorite show you ever put on?
Oh, I can't say that. His
No.
favorite show. Come on. Everybody's
All
look.
right.
Everybody's great. I mean, you can't say, well, he done this one here, this one here. You either have it. You have the Schwartz. What is it? The Schwartz. Who put that up? The Schwartz. Don't you remember that was a comedian? Oh, come on. Who?
Oh, Lord. May the Schwartz be with you.
That's right. The Schwartz be with you. May the Schwartz be with you. That's what I say. Figure it out. You got to figure it out. Be your own person and say yes. Maybe
I'm
that ham sandwich, but it's you can't eat ham on Fridays. Okay.
I'm gonna wrap it up in a second, but I want to ask you. Going to that was Jones Beach where Jimmy Buffett was. Is there a
Did you see what happened? He came and that was his last time he held a guy.
And he never performed again.
He
for
knew
you.
he was pretty ill,
Yeah.
and the next day he was over with it. That was
The
he died.
that's clearly the drunkest crowd that you would have ever catered to. Is that correct?
They made me drink a bottle of booze on a.
It didn't look like they made you, Ron. It looked voluntary.
First of all, they didn't know who I was. They thought I was. I said, Jimmy.
They thought he was Jimmy Buffett.
They
A
thought
lot
I
of
was Jimmy
people-
Buffett.
A lot of people.
I'm going out and dancing, yeah, and I'm drinking a beer, and they give me this white booze. They make it,
Yeah, I know. It's
and I'm drinking it
rum.
down, yeah, and I'm going, hey, this is fun, yeah.
So you see, you're never too old to be a parrot head, apparently. Parrot head's a Jimmy Buffett fan. That's you. Okay.
Okay.
Jake, I got to ask you, and then we'll let Ron go to dinner. What's your next project? Do you have something in mind?
We don't need to talk. Let's
Yeah,
talk
I don't
about
wanna
this
know.
project. Let's talk about this film. I could tell you all about this film.
Well, I will say that Ron and Jake will be at the NoHo 7 tomorrow. So if you want to see this show on the road, go there. It's a great way to celebrate Juneteenth.
This was a real challenge to make this film. I'll
Yeah.
tell you. This was not an easy.
Was this the toughest
This was
obstacle you had to deal with?
this was the obstacle.
Yeah.
Everyone else, getting the actual acts to be in the film was easy. In fact, many of them called me to say, "I hear you're doing this film about Ron." But getting Ron to sit down in the Beacon Theater and tell his story over a period of days was a lot of work. And
Because
Ron
I-
did amazingly, and it was a big undertaking.
Because he had better things to do, or
No, I think Ron is like you see in the movie. He's energetic. He's always moving, and he's always on to the next thing. So the idea of sitting down and telling a story, and when you make a film, you have to really drill down every little detail. Well, tell me about this and what happened then, and this and that, it's not easy, and I think, but Ron did fantastically, and thank God, because it's all there. And the other thing I'll say is, you can't really consolidate a career like Ron's into a 100-minute film. This film could be like a 2.5-year film if you told the entire story. So that, you kind of pick and choose stories. You have to be selective. And I think I kind of liked the order and the stories we told, and found the right archive to kind of help tell the story.
You also got to leverage that COVID time a little bit in the sense of all like dealing with your piles of stuff, Ron.
That was the key time. I mean, it was interesting. I turned up to Ron's house in East Hampton somewhere in COVID, and then we were just in there for months, just digitizing basically all of the archive in the film. Most of it was stuff we recovered in Ron's basement or found there, and we would either find a better version or we'd use what he had. But all the photography, all the footage, everything was there. In fact, this is what's interesting. I found a thank you note that I wrote to Ron when I must have been 8 years old, because he gave me and my sister tickets to the Knicks. And we found, amongst all his crap and piles of paper, we found this thank you
Good
note.
crap, good crap.
It's good crap, it's good crap. But we found this note, and I drew a picture, and dear Mr. Delsener, thanks so much for the tickets. So that goes to show you, like, he really never throws anything away. It's
I
all
opened the
there.
envelope and I didn't see any money, so fuck it.
So come back in 10 or 15 years and find the giant Beach Boys ticket, and you can, you can thank me.
I know where it's going.
He's got plenty of those tickets, right? Not kidding. He's making them all night long, night. Some place in Brooklyn.
Oh yeah, Ron thinks that I've stolen a lot of his stuff and I'm selling it somewhere for.
He make copies. He make copies.
You know, as your wife said in the movie,
He make copies of this all day long. Make a fortune.
as your wife said in the movie, Ron,
Work.
there's something called online now. You don't really have to have those.
I lost that online thing. That's what killed me. I just talk on the phone. What is the thing? I have to be machines. What is it? I don't like this business.
Use the microphone. He said he didn't like the business. So, well, I want to thank Margaret and Jake and Ron and John, and Gene too, for his very eloquent intro. And thanks for coming tonight. And if you didn't get enough, you got something like 8 more chances between now and Monday.
Yeah, and please spread the word if you like the film. You can tell people, you can post stuff about it, you can do all that. Please help us. Please share this film with everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.